to raise your frequency to match the life you desire. I'm in this room with like the most beautiful people I could have ever invited to this summit. And we just were playing around, connecting our streams and having fun before we went live here. And Brenda Lee's decided to pull a card for us from an activation geometry card deck. And guess what card she pulled? You can't make this stuff up. She pulled the prosperity activation card. Yes, yes. So we're so lined up today for today's live stream. So if you haven't watched us before, we are all featured speakers. I'm the host, Jennifer Seifert, in the Activate Your Prosperity Life Summit. And this is a summit that is streaming to you live on a regular basis, all month long, activating prosperity consciousness in the world. We are creating a major ripple effect with this live stream. We are shifting algorithms and we're moving into the universe, raising the frequency of prosperity on the world through these live streams and through the summit. The summit officially starts on the 16th, where you'll get the full interviews. You'll get to see what Kirsten's talking about. You'll get to hear what Michelle is talking about. You'll get to really dig deep into what Brenda Lees is talking about when you join the summit. So I encourage you to press the button on any of these posts that you're watching right now and activate your prosperity by registering for the summit. I'm going to go around the room with all of the speakers. Brenda Lees, tell us about this card you pulled. How to raise your frequency to match the life you desire, and tell us about you.
It was funny because I usually pull cards for myself all the time before I go into events, and you guys saw the deck and you're like, okay, pull a card. And I was playing with it for a while, and then this card jumped out. It says, the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides us. So more fun, more joy, more fulfillment, more authenticity. It's what's going to get us there. It's what's getting us there.
Yeah. And Brenda Lees, you're an energetics coach, an embodiment coach, hypnotherapy.
Sorry, yes. Yeah. I'm an embodiment and energetics coach. My clients love to call me the mind whisperer. I work with people's inner program, and I make that inner program basically work for you. So align with the results that you desire. I'm an NLP master practitioner. I'm a hypnotherapist. I am a breathwork coach. I'm an energy worker by just naturally. And I really enjoy being able to help women mainly accelerate their wealth, because we can benefit. Our wealth can be as great as our inner world is.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Connie, you how do you raise your frequency with your body and your nutrition and focusing on the power of your womanhood?
Yeah.
Who are you?
So I'm Connie Pertula, the menopause navigator. So of course I work with women all the way from perimenopause to postmenopause and beyond, basically for as long as you live. And I truly believe, and this just isn't a belief. This is something that I know. This is something I embody. But what we put into our body helps to maintain our frequency. So if we're putting in highly processed foods, highly refined foods, things that you're buying in packages, as far as I'm concerned, those are very low frequency ingredients that are in there. And in a lot of cases, those kinds of foods aren't made with a lot of love and care, right? They're made in factories and on assembly lines. But when you put food into your body that you've selected with love and you've created with love, and that's any food, when you're, picking good ingredients, all of that increases our frequency. It increases our power. So I always say nutrition is the foundation of our health. So that's the foundation of everything, right?
It is. And it's not about belief, because I know it works. I know it works because I'm one of Connie's clients. And in order to do this summit, I need a lot of energy. And that is one of my main focuses right now is eating, working out, and taking good care of myself so I can be in the highest frequency to carry this summit through and even beyond. Leah, tell us about yourself and how creativity and you, that frequency of prosperity gets activated.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm Leah Johnson. I'm a visionary artist, author, and speaker, teacher, and guide. And this ball of red thread was just sitting on my desk. And so, I think when we talk about visionary activation, it's also about connection. And it's about who we're connected to. And for me, I do red thread ceremonies often as I teach, reminding us that we all have our own part of it, but we are all connected. And so I think really leaning into that power of connection, the beautiful people that are here, the beautiful people that are arriving, and deeply feeling into the energetic shift and exchange that comes from those connections with people who are leaning into this idea of a prosperous life.
Oh, I love it. I love that. I love that. Yes, let's use the props that are on our desk to really let the audience know who we are, for sure. Robert, tell us about you and how, frequency and matching the life of your desire is all connected for you.
Yeah, well, it's all about frequency, and we are being bombarded from the external world with things that are completely bashing on our energy field and keeping us low frequent. So we have to really pay attention because the energy of the world is being really exponentially raised, that we really are suffering fatigue, exhaustion, heart palpitations, if we're not aware of this. So it's really, really important to pay attention and to do everything possible to maintain your health, one, and find spiritual practice that keeps your energy up to par. And, the question I always ask myself is, am I actually in my body? Whatever it is I'm doing, am I really, I'm walking the dog, and I notice I'm not even walking the dog. He's just running around, but I'm not there. I'm just, it's like, no, wait a minute. Come back in my body and be with the dog. Play with the dog so that Robert disappears. There's just the walking dog, and then I become one with all that is. And I immediately feel so much energy come back into my body. It's like becoming more present is certainly one way to raise your frequency.
I love it. That's such a good share. And Michelle, you were snapping your fingers there. Tell us how that really resonates for you, the frequency and matching the life you desire, and about you as well.
Yeah, I loved that. It's so I'm an embodied speaker coach, visibility coach, and presence coach. And to me, what you just said, Robert, is so resonant, because when I catch that and I come back to my body, I'm more present, I'm more alive. My frequency radiates in a very different way. When I'm up here, in my head, spinning around in circles, I'm just not inhabiting this body that I get to carry with me as long as I'm here. And I love Brenda Lee's that you said, the mind whisperer. That my clients call me the trauma whisperer, because that's my background as a trauma specialist. And I believe that trauma is kind of like the gunk in the drain. And when we're able to move that energy, we're able to process it, we're able to laugh with it, we're able to move it, then we just have so much more access to everything. We have more capacity to hold more, to be more, to experience more. And so, yeah, to me, it's all related. It's all wrapped up in a beautiful bow. These bodies that we have and the ability to do whatever it takes to just keep that energy flowing, moving, and receptive.
I love it. I love it. Melody, share about you and how you work tons with frequencies, your MO.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I am a sacred sound alchemist, ceremonialist, shamanic priestess, and a spiritual guide. And yeah, I'm very passionate about meditation and mantras. When you meditate, especially in the dawn and the dusk hours, when the chitta, the universal mind, is quiet, you can clear a lot of your subconscious patterns and habits and shadows. Which, when you clear out the shadow, you can harness in more light into your body. So our consciousness and our frequency is how much light we're holding in our bodies. And so meditation, always breath work, right? It helps us to clear out the lower vibrational energies, but also practicing gratitude is a very powerful way to raise your frequency, opening that heart. The heart, it allows us to take in more abundance. The heart is the doorway to spirit. And gratitude is a very powerful frequency that will allow you to activate more higher emotional, vibrational emotions like joy and trust and peace and happiness. So gratitude is a very powerful tool to just be, focusing and also getting out of here and getting into your body and being like, I'm grateful today for my body, for my feet, and my legs that take me places, and I can walk my dog and be in nature. Obviously, nature helps us as well a lot to clear our vibration and raise our frequency and just bring more joy. And mindful movement, of course, like meditation and movement and gratitude are the three main things that I really work with. And mantra, is a very sacred text. When you're chanting mantras, it's a very old sacred text. Sanskrit is a very high frequency text. So when you're spending a lot of time doing those things, it keeps you in that zone. So
Yeah. And I like how we're going in a spiral here, because going right into the zone, the center zone with Kirsten. Tell us about you and how frequency and your work and connects. Oh, yeah.
Gotta mute myself. Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Kirsten Liegman, and I am the CEO of Regen Earth Studio, where we are really looking at how can we make regenerative living the norm, meaning that the way we build our infrastructure, our buildings, how we live on Earth, how we connect to Earth has got to flip. We've got to reconnect to Earth, to the frequency of Earth. One of you mentioned nature as a source of frequency raising. And, we're looking at what are the the pillars of regenerative entrepreneurship, and inner coherence is absolutely the very first one. And, when my late husband was still alive, we were doing a lot of frequency work. I believe personally that frequency is the apothecary of evolution. And one of the things that we love to work on is the preciseness of frequency. A lot of conversations around frequency is this big bucket of this thing called frequency. Well, when we can start understanding that everything has its own unique frequency, gratitude has a frequency, joy has a frequency, the wall has a frequency, the flowers have a frequency, everything is very precise, then we can start practicing accessing that frequency. And when we can make a distinction between, okay, on this side is emotions, and they have a lower frequency, and then there's the feeling side of things, and that's where we want to reach to. I believe we are at a crossroads right now of where humanity has a choice point. It's not going to be, I personally don't believe it's an automatic. It's like every single person gets to choose what we do. And so who we work with is entrepreneurs who want to create a prosperous, vital, extremely wonderful business, but at a new level of awareness. And that requires a different frequency, right? It requires a leap in awareness, a leap in evolution, and frequency to me is one of the most important pieces to develop alongside business acumen, alongside the ability to do whole systems thinking, all the things that are part of that. But who you choose to be and your state of being, which emanates a very specific frequency, is number one. And there are very specific ways in which you can do that. And it all starts with choice.
And you're so good at explaining it too, because I was like, maybe we should have started with the definition of frequency, but you really gave it to us there. So that's awesome. I love it, Kirsten. And this is the thing, when you can press the button and register for the activate your prosperous life, that's a frequency action. Like, you're saying yes to, I want to move into the consciousness, to the vibration, the energy, the frequency of prosperity. And then there's a next step too that you can take. You can take the VIP prosperity path step, and you can say, I want to do more than just like learn and listen and watch. I want to engage. I want to implement. I want to get deeper with Leah. I want to get deeper with Michelle. I want to watch Connie's talk more than once. I want to be in the VIP prosperity rooms where I can ask questions of these experts and get answers ASAP on the spot, so that I can start embodying that frequency of prosperity. Because the others, we've been in a frequency of scarcity. Not enough. Oh, I don't have the money yet. I can't do this because I don't have the money to do this. This is a very inexpensive way to start activating this prosperity frequency. It's $37 Canadian, it's $27 US. So I invite you to, take this first step and come be with us. We're going to go around the room one more time here. And Brenda Lees, your talk is about, what is it? I'm scrolling here. You're saying all the right things. So why isn't money responding? So how does frequency match with your talk title?
So it's all about the words we're using, and what the words that we're using that we believe are true to ourselves, right? There's this, there's a lot being said about affirmations, and some people love affirmations and they truly believe affirmations work. But when we talk even at a deeper level, when we use quantum commands to really speak to ourselves, we are talking in a way, and we're talking in a way that our body believes it to be true, then like embodying and changing and shifting our reality is easier. So it's all about how do we use the words that we're using in a way that our mind, our subconscious mind, which directs 95% of the actions that we take, believes and helps us shift our reality.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's all about talking to ourselves with higher frequency words so that we can reprogram ourselves and let go of those scarcity programs and step into the prosperity programs that are higher frequency. Connie, The Power of Menopause is your talk. How does the mature present support of you help someone anchor into that higher frequency?
Yeah, I think sometimes as we look at people as they get older and we look at them for wisdom and those types of things, but sometimes we forget we have that wisdom inside of us. And this is something that I'm always encouraging women is to, look back at all the things that you've learned in your life. And now you can take that wisdom, now that you're in menopause and you've got this amazing energy in menopause. And of course, some women will say, what are you talking about? Menopause is awful. I feel awful. And it's like, no, once we get you reconnected with your body and you start to understand what your body needs from you as far as support goes, there's this inherent power inside of us. And we can take that power, we can, one of my slogans is healthy woman, healthy planet. I believe if women are healthy, the planet is healthy, and vice versa. And as women, we're the ones that provide that knowledge and that wisdom to others, to other people in our family, to younger people. So there's a lot of power in menopause. We just have to figure out how to support our body so that we can tap into that power and then start to share that wisdom.
Leah, you also talk a lot about the wisdom and the courage. I mean, the courage to quit. Creativity is an act of reinvention. How does wisdom and frequency match up? Because you take people to ancient places.
Yeah, I think it's ancient places, but also tapping into the power of your own intuition and your own creativity through, for me, it's creating experiences that allow people to activate that creativity. And there are no art skills required. I think so often in our society, we define what it is, and we have these expectations, and we go into things and we have to be good at it in order to do it. And there is no good or bad. There are no rules. It's allowing yourself to lay down your arms and lay down that energetic, barrier around you and get into flow and allow that flow, allow the divine that is external to connect to the divine that is within. And when you do that, and for me, through the power of painting and drawing and whatever elements of creativity that you use, or for me that I use, it really allows you to open that heart space, open your energy, and create a higher frequency that allows you to move through and elevate to that prosperous life.
Yeah. And then when you're doing it in a group, it's even a bigger expansion. Yeah. With that red thread. Robert, your talk is the hidden energy trap. What's the hidden energy trap that stops someone from becoming the life they say they want, like becoming the life that they are intending? What's the trap?
I can sort of tie that into what Leo was saying when we're talking about creativity. God, I used to write poetry, but it was always coming from a really dark place. I didn't want to be on this planet. I didn't know what I was good for. I didn't know what I was doing. I think I took the wrong turn and ended up on planet shit. Excuse the word, but that was my personal journey. And well, if that isn't low frequent, I don't know what is, right? I was so depressed just by the wars that were fought. I was projecting all my own anxiety onto the outside world, which has brought me into an even lower frequency. So I only started raising my energy the moment that I started healing from inside out. And from that moment on, my creativity was unleashed simply because I was reconnecting with that essential part of me that I went into separation with. Those essential qualities that have always been there at the core, but because of things that happened, right? We went into separation. We were defined by that, although we come to realize that no, those things don't define us. We have a choice, right? And just like Kirsten was saying, yes, and now we are at a crossroads. It's about shedding that old self and coming into a higher frequency that really serves the divine and the human collective experience, because things are changing really, really quickly. And it's either up or down. It's that extreme. You're either with us or you're not. So I'm out there helping people with sweat lodge ceremonies. I do a specific kind of body work, body mastery, breath mastery, all these things to help you get into the right frequency. And especially for high achievers and people that I hear say, I thrive under pressure. I'm like, no, you guys, That's a big energy trap. Pressure is pressure, and on the long run, your body's going to cop out and say, I'm not doing this anymore. And then they come back to me, a little later along the road, like, oh my God, you were right. So try and convince them that they're on the wrong track, because they're convinced that thriving under pressure is a good thing. I'm like, pressure is pressure.
Pressure is another frequency too, isn't it, Robert?
Yeah.
I mean, it's another frequency as well. Michelle.
Yes. So we were meant to have it easy.
Yeah. Yes. Michelle, feeling called to your next level. Cool. Does your body agree? Like, totally. I just love your talk title. And so what's about body and frequency? Can you play off on Robert, what Robert and Leah have been saying already?
Well, it's something that you said, Robert, again, struck me. So one of the pieces of feedback I got, no matter where I worked, if it was in, county mental health, it was in after school mental health programs, you name it, people were always fascinated by how much laughter came out of my office, knowing that what I was talking about was trauma all day long. And I just had this innate sense from a very early age that laughter literally is medicine. That when we laugh, we're instantly lighter in every way, shape, or form. And so I've always been this very joyful, playful person. And many times I actually got shit for it. I got it like I was so uncool because I was happy because something happy making was going on, So I think that the other thing that shows up is like with hustle culture and all of this like heaviness and denseness, I felt like I was walking around with constant resting bitch face, and everywhere I went, people thought I worked there, like a hardware store. People would think I worked there because I just had this like intensity, this like, serious blah. And I lost that joy. I lost the creativity. I lost the playfulness, the laughter. And so a lot of my own evolution in bumping up to the next level for myself has been coming back to that, has been joining an improv group just so that I, laugh and my cheeks hurt after a couple of hours, watching silly videos, not watching some of the heavy stuff online and like giving myself a dose of that. And then like, okay, now I need double or triple or quadruple the dose of laughter, fun, joy, play, so that I can counteract the heaviness that's out there.
I love it. I love what you're saying. Yeah, Melody, I know you're nodding your head. You're going to add on to this. Your talk, New Earth Paradigm, the Ascension to 5D. So how does the 5D perspective, tie into this laughter thing maybe that
I love it, Michelle. I'm the same. I'm like, even smiling will raise your frequency and bring more joy. So we are already in the oneness timeline. We're in the abundant timeline. We're in the New Earth Paradigm. So it really is like what Robert said about dissolving and shedding the old layers, and we are opening our hearts. We're living from our hearts. We are calling in abundance. We're trusting that what is meant for us is going to find us. And, we're taking leaps and into the unknown to harness living the purpose life that we want to be living, and trusting that the universe is going to provide, and it really will. And I play around with this all the time. I'll take money and give it away, and it'll come back to me that later that day somehow. It's like, I'm trusting in the flow. We're in the feminine principles now of just being. We're not striving and hustling. We're allowing and magnetizing everything to us. But it's a new way of being. We really have to like train our brains to be like, oh, we're in our bodies now. We're not living from our egos. But yeah, playing is very important. Dancing around, my favorite place is to be in the forest, just dancing around and like singing and raising the vibes and spreading joy wherever you go. We are in this collective consciousness and the oneness, so everything is connected. So we do take on like the fear, and it is a choice point, right, Kirsten? It's like we are in the threshold here. It's like we have a choice. You either focus on love or fear. Like there's fear-based emotions and love-based emotions. That's what it comes down to. So you really want to be conscious of what you're thinking, because these thoughts carry vibration, and really focusing on the good and positive and trusting. It's the trust. we got to strengthen that trust muscle.
Yes, definitely. And I know for myself, lots of the times I'm really kind of like navigating from the front of my chest, like, does this feel good? And then I just kind of go that way, you know, and I know that I'm listening here and I start leaning in as I lead, you know, because feels good. And I know
trust the
Kirsten's
body.
going to
Listen
end
to
the
the body. Yeah, the body
conversation,
has wisdom for sure.
and it's going to feel good because how do you thrive on the frontier of change is Kirsten's talk title. And I love that one too, is like, how do you thrive on the frontier of change? I can just like ask that question of you.
Yeah, how do you thrive on the frontier of change? It's a choice, right? And, you know, I love calling the people that we work with game changers, you know, because there's all the words, the world changers and change agents and change this and just, I think it's a game changer because that brings it into, we're in a game here and we can make choices along the way. And so, you know, my industry is the sustainability, environmental, regenerative, right? And there's a lot of heaviness, talking about heaviness, Michelle, right? A lot of heaviness. The earth is going to hell in a handbasket, climate change and ecosystem loss and all of that. And we've started giving it a name called the cult of doom and gloom, right? There is this energetic vortex that I've felt, and I've been in this for decades, of that energetic frequency decrease that says we're screwed. And I believe that when we're in that cult of doom and gloom, we feed the collective heaviness and we're actually adding to the problem. And so the choice to step out of the old game and creating a whole new game as entrepreneurs, as regenerative, fully alive, fully in delight, fully in joy, creating to quote Charles Eisenstein, the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. When we put our attention and focus on that and create from that space, we're going to have a far bigger impact on how the world develops than if we are in the alert thing. You know, it's funny, you'll know this, Jennifer. I just, you know, did the fascination test. Alert, which is the, you know, watch out, people, we need to watch out for this, is my worst one. And in the past, I would go, we need to pay attention to these people, right? It's the worst way of communication. So my best is, let's look at the potential of who we can become. And that's the key here. We need to embody the people that we want to see living in that world we want to create. And we do that through frequency. We do that through everything that these wonderful co-speakers have talked about, you know, the belief systems. Who do we choose to be? And one big one, to tie it back into prosperity here, is in my industry, the world changer industry, lack is a huge frequency. It's a huge frequency because there's everything tied to martyrdom. It's tied to money is evil. It's tied to all the belief systems that are around what we think has caused the current state of being. And I'm saying we've got to actually open up and allow abundance to come in so that we can do the work we need to do. We need to have that foundation as well and not hold a judgment about prosperity. When you hold judgment about prosperity, you push it away and you will be less effective. And so one of the things regenerative entrepreneurs have to learn is to allow abundance in.
Oh, I just love it. I just love it. I just love it. What are we activating together? Like, holy, we're the game that we're playing right now. This game in the last 34 minutes that we're playing right now is changing. Like, We're all deciding to show up here and activate prosperous lives for ourselves, for you. We're putting it into the streams. It's all in the streams. It's in the current. It's in the current. It's doing its magic and its work because it's all energy and frequency. And I just love that I tuned in, I did meditation, and I received the call to create this summit. And now I'm, activating prosperity. It's happening. It's happening in real time. Thank you so much for joining me, my co-creators here with me right now. And I invite you to press the button and register for the summit. Join the VIP, become one of these co-creators, and join us in this activation of prosperous life. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow morning on the live stream with a whole new topic.
Bye.
Thank you.